You want to take it? The first one?
I most definitely will. Spawning in the top left corner as a blue. Sorry, I'm colorblind. As a red Protoss, representing clan InfNA Gaming North America. He is Ukko.
Alrighty, in the bottom right is our yellow Zerg 440 Ralethon?
Ralethon, I believe.
Ralethon. Alright, I'll have some issues with that. We're gonna have some issues with our first cast of the day.
Whoa, what is this? It's looking to be a very aggressive start with a 10 pull by Ralethon.
Oh, wow. I mean...
It could be an extractor trick.
Yeah, usually when you're not paying attention, you're like, oh man. So it looks like that's actually what it's gotta be. He's getting the Overlord now, which is kind of silly.
I think it was just because he was typing. Happens to everyone once in a while. The extractor trick to compensate for this.
So, I've seen a lot of people... I mean, this is an early scout, and usually what you scout is if they're going to do a gateway expand, or if they're going to just do the forge, and it looks like Ukko is going to start with the forge expand, which... That's right. Ralethon is just going to... He's just going to go for the 14 pool, so he's not going to go for any hatch first, I wouldn't think, unless he wants to get cannoned or shenanigans.
He might want to. It's looking a little bit more like it as the seconds go by. Hatch first. Very bold move. Against a Forge Fast Expand. And
that's so true, and it's actually going to... If the Protoss probe comes in just in time, it can be denied pretty easily.
Oh,
and it doesn't look...
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, Zerg's just going to snag it. No problems. But there's no Overlord here. And he gives the possibility of being cannon rush. We see the pylon being pulled back. He might try for some shenanigans here. We're just going to have to wait and see.
I think Ukko should definitely start thinking about that cannon rush. But
yeah, he pulls two drones right away to look. He's taking no chances here. Excellent cautious play. And this Protoss just going to pull back to a very conservative.
Is he going for an early third?
Looks like
it. Definitely is. Alrighty, so this is going to be a pretty heavily macro game. Just allowing the Zerg to macro up as much as he wants to. Getting that third, it's not going to... Look, I don't know. I mean, doesn't look... It just looks like a heavy macro game from where I'm standing. And when you don't deny the third, or you allow the third to come down, you allow it to get saturated, Protoss is going to be in a very scary position.
That's right. Forge Fast. The common response of Zerg to Forge Fast Expand is usually fast 3 hatch. So perfect response. And 4 hatches. Whoa, Ralethon doing the metagame stuff here.
Does he even have
a pull? He doesn't have a pull. He has no pull. He has had this drone alive so long that he knows nothing could possibly happen. So he's going to go for 4 hatches. I love this response.
This is a very interesting response, and if done well, it could be very devastating. But you're going to be so heavy on macro, you're going to lose a lot of money in the early game, which means any aggression you're going to fall flat to. So I don't mind this aggression. I actually think this defense, this macro style, I think it's really neat, but it could get actually played into this game many different ways.
That is correct. And Ukko, or is it Ukko? I'm gonna say Ukko. Ukko has identified this third base, but he's definitely has not identified the fourth. We're gonna see a proxy hatchery.
Oh wow!
What in the what?
Ukko's. I don't even know what kind of game this is, but this is actually.
It's all right.
Being very interesting. Look, it's gonna be Scout. He's gonna be like, no shenanigans here.
Just keep in mind, people, if you look at the structures tab, still no spawning pool. It was 5.5 minutes. Ukko has still not made a spawning pool.
Spawning pool just going down. It's about 12 seconds in. It's not. This is going to be dealt with. This one hatch is going to be dealt with. This is not what 4-4 Ralethon is. I feel like he's either being very smart or being very dumb. I mean, I haven't really seen this on ladder.
Maybe he's trying to force an overreaction. That's the only thing I can think of right now, because there's no way that this thing is gonna finish. I mean, I expect to cancel any moment now. He's gonna let it finish?
No!
Alright, and there's the overreaction we're talking about. An investment of 550 minerals to kill a singular investment of 350. So Ralethon actually comes out top here, economically.
You know what? This is actually a pretty good metagame, because behind all that, he's droning up. Look at that! Like, he has his fourth. He has a couple drones on his fourth. He's already ahead in supply now, just because of that. Wow, this is an amazing macro game. And it looks like because of that overreaction, because of the investment in the 2 pylons and the 2 cannons, he's now behind. He doesn't have any tech, he doesn't have any attack. And all he needs, all Ralethon needs is just a couple larvae and a few saturations to be, you know, equivalent in this matchup right now.
That is correct. I mean, this is a 2-base Protoss who's invested 500 minerals in static defense against some in a position that is absolutely useless against a 4-base Zerg who has done nothing but drone for the last 7.5 minutes. We now see the drone count at 50 to 46 workers. It's probably going to climb rather drastically once all 4 queens kick in and begin injecting now that the pool is finished.
Even getting the gas at the perfect time just to get the speed upgrade. It looks like he's also going to get evolution chambers. There's no fear in the Zerg. He's just for the hive all the way, just getting as much economy as possible.
Do you know what this is? This is actually economic cheese. I mean, this is cheese. It's just on the other side of this. If you look at the scale where the 6 pools on the left side, this is on the right side. This is 4 hatches before gas, and even a proxy to force an overreaction. This is an absolutely brilliant mind game.
I've never seen it in my days of casting, but I am glad that I can actually view it now.
Yes, most definitely. And we see the follow-up transition choice is going to be Roaches. Roach, we're now finished. I don't think he's on layer tech just yet. No layer tech, but we now see Zergling speed and Roaches in production. And our Protoss desperately trying to gear up to take a third.
The only thing I can think of is if he doesn't take this, if Ukko doesn't take this Immortal All-In seriously, he can definitely lose outright to this.
But it's not an Immortal All-In, he's taking a third. He's taking a third.
Yep, which I see, but he needs to do 4-base pressure at least. He needs to do some sort of damage or else he's going to fall behind. There's not enough scouting. There's no obs on the table. And he's creating obs as we speak. It's just going to be devastating if he allows the numbers of Ralethon to just get up.
He's just in absolute confusion. He has no idea. Only now do the observers go out onto the map and see for the first time what exactly is going on. And when he IDs this 4th base, he's going to be in so much trouble. A speedling run by into the emerging 3rd base of Protoss. These speedlings are dead, but they might be able to force a cancel. Okay, force fields. Will they be able to get out? I don't know. They've been boxed in. He's going to try to run
go
into
straight to the main.
He gets perfect scouting. Oh, the Roaches pile in. Oh my god, this could be it! A really nice surround to the back by these speedlings, and the force shields are good, cutting off a few Roaches, but the majority of them made the way in, and now Zealot's desperately trying to hold back the flood of Roaches, and my frame rate has actually just suddenly died. Oh my goodness. What on earth?
Wow, that would have an amazing play, just getting those links in there, forcing the units to deal with the lings, and then just shoving the Roaches in their face, where there was no answer with the force fields, able to pick off the sentries. That was an amazing play, actually forcing the cancel on that third, shoving Ralethon all the way on top with the economy, with the army supply, and he's just going to be able to press in.
They're just going to body some of the Immortals.
Very amazing play. And one Immortal does go down, the other Immortal is still standing, but there's just so much Zerg here, it doesn't even matter. It looks like Ralethon is going to be able to take out that Cyber Core, which is really the only issue that he has. He doesn't want any Stalkers, he doesn't want any Force Fields that can deter him from winning this game.
And behind it, Zerg has actually resumed droning. We see 8 drones, 16 drones in production. And Protoss is all but frozen drone production because oversaturated on 2 bases, desperately trying to rally the army he needs to secure this 3rd base. But honestly, at this point, Zerg could just go knock into front door. No, he's just going to take these slow Roaches, try to knock down these rocks.
Maybe trap him in this base because he knows he's so far in economy.
That is correct. But keep in mind, 1-1 has kicked in for Protoss. He forces the cancel, but now these superior upgrades are just going to shred the Zerg. The Immortal in the back doing so much damage. But there's just not enough army. There's no buffer zone. The Roaches come in again, and this very well could be it. He's warping in nothing but pure sentry now. He can't get Stalkers. He needs the best force fields of his life right now. Hold this, but I'm not seeing it right now, Panda.
Force fields weren't that good. He's able to pick up a lot of sentries. And now he's just free to do damage on the Immortals, but the Immortals so good, taking 1, 2, 3 tons of Roaches, and now that was deterred. Unfortunately for Ukko, it's just, you're so behind. What can you do? And look at that! The creep spread with that annoying Overlord, and there's no anything that can attack air is just these tickle machines of observers. And
Pop.
even though that Overlord is dead, it's going to take 15 seconds for that creep to recede, but there's not a lot, so it should be a lot less than that.
You see a 5th base on the way and double Spire. This is the transition that will end the game. I'm sorry, guys. Ukko has put up a tremendous fight, but I do believe that his Zealot Zealot Sentry Immortal push will be completely stopped at the next flood of mutas. All our Zerg player has to do is hold on. He's identified this push coming. This is an all-in.
These Spires, well, he needs to, saying how far he's behind. He knows he's behind, but these Spires need to finish ASAP, and he needs to press the T button as quick as possible, because if these Protoss units just come in and get an advantage somehow, he might
18 mutas in production.
There you go.
All he has to do is buy time. Look at all the spines coming up. He's ready for this, but he just needs a little bit more time. Mutas built so fast, only 33 seconds.
Not fast enough when you need him to come out ASAP. That's what I've learned.
Oh boy, these spines won't finish.
He needs to commit. He doesn't need to be dancing around.
He's attacking the 3rd.
That's actually where the economy is.
Oh, he sees the mutas. He's got to know he's in trouble now. Does he have a Cyber Core up? Yes, he's rebuilt it, but he hasn't worked in any Stalkers. There's not a single Stalker in his entire composition.
But look at that. The 3rd is about to go down, but it might be too late. There's tons of mutas on the field that can deal with this. He's just waiting for a group of Zerglings
23 mutas. Oh my god.
Though. We need a Guardian Shield, but I feel like it's not enough. There is a warp in, but it's a few Stalkers. Stalkers clumped up, taking additional damage from the glaives and the mutas. A couple sentries go down, a few Stalkers. He's going to be retreating. This is a loss in that battle.
Keep in mind, behind us, our Protoss player is bringing himself back in this game. He has resaturated his 3rd, finally. And now these Zealots and Immortals, knowing that retreat is impossible against the superior mobile forces, press forward, but the spines have all finished! All the spines have finished! Oh my god! He's not going to do any damage with these units!
No, the Immortals went down. The Zealots are in the mineral line, but
it doesn't matter.
The spine callers
does not matter. So many mutas.
Oh man, this is just going to be a flyover, an A-click type of army right here with all these mutas.
Right, 26 mutas.
There's no storm, there's no Archons to deal with these. This is going to be very devastating, but
only
look at that. Ukko has the Stalkers, but I feel like that's not going to be enough.
Only now, Blink, barely a minute in, and he doesn't have the Stalker out of all this. There's more mutas than Stalkers. Oh my god. So one thing he does have going for him is that these are 2-1 Stalkers against 0-0 mutas, but let's be honest, I do not think it matters right now.
No, with a good spread, he might be able to do something, because the glaives do so much against bunched up Stalkers. There's going to be a warp in. Unfortunately, there's just so much Zerg, but look at that, he is going to be deterred. So
he gets pushed back. He
that
lost a lot of
actually
mutas.
forwarded.
He's down to 19. He lost around 14 or so mutas right there. Decent little victory for our Protoss player, but he's just buying time at this point. Zerg now on 5 bases is completely undeterred to go towards Hive Tech. He just happens to have sunk 4,000 gas into mutas, but with 2-2 air carapace, 2-2 on the way for air, time is taken.
I want to say it's 3 base, but look at I want to say 3 base Protoss is really strong, but he's about to be mined out from his main, and then that attack just swooped in, killing tons of probes, and he's gonna able to take out this Nexus here. Ralethon's going to be able to take out the Nexus. And now it's just really off 1 base mining. And look at that, an attack as well for Ralethon.
He needs to breach his spine for us, so there's still 6 spines alive here. And the Immortal in the front tanking all the damage. I'm not sure if that's the right idea. He needs it to bust the spines. The Immortal does go down. Small wing counterattack from the back. Oh no, slightly bad rally point.
The Immortal taking the damage is exactly what you really want to do. He was busting down the spines regardless. But this is just ridiculous, because at this point it's just going to be a base trade. But something like this, you can't really base trade.
Nice blink micro.
This is going to be very intense. It's going to whoever has a bigger army at the end, or whoever takes out the most buildings. I mean, there's a couple cannons. There's this
Zerg
entire
is still
army.
mining. Keep in mind, Zerg is still mining. Protoss is not.
It's not.
Yes. 25 Blink Stalkers are going to be army of choice against 31 2-2 Mutalisks. 2-2 will finish in about a minute. He just needs to wait, but I'm not sure he has that luxury right now.
Look at that. A couple spine callers in the main, so this is just he's just going to be stalling, seeing what he can kill. It's 1-0-2 for the Protoss, so they're both looking good on upgrades. 1-1 is perfect amount. So look at that. Some Protoss units on the low ground. If he had that chance, he could snipe it. But all these stalkers are bunched up, and that's a positive thing for the Zerg
That's
player.
it. GG.
There's GG.
440 takes the very quick 1-0 lead in this best of 9 by the craziest 4-hatch build I've seen in quite a while, proxy hatch included.